Water. Try this. While it is raining, collect some of the rainwater directly in a clean container placed in the open. Also collect some of the rainwater that is flowing over the ground. Observe and compare the two. What difference do you see? What is the reason for that? When other substance get mixed with water, it become invert. Some of their substance floats in the water, so the water looks unclean and muddy. Some substance dissolves in the water and we cannot see them. If the substance that have got mixed with the water are harmful for living things, we say that the water has become polluted. Re- re- reason, river, lake are our social of water. How does the water get polluted? The wastewater of a city or town is collected and let into a water body at convenience. Let the wastewater from repelling polluted as well as from factories and industries. Countries many kinds of impositions. Some of their observed in the water while some do not. CJ water can carry microorganisms that spend disastrous water from industries. Industries is more uh, likely to contain pollution substance. If all this wastewater is let into water bodies as it is, the water bodies become polluted and that the disaster. Some water cannot be used for drink for or for any other purposes. That is why it is compulsory compulsory for factories owners to treat the water before later it out. Simply sewage and other wastewater of town and cities is product for preserving be- before later in into a into a water body that help to prevent pollution of water. Following water of river gets purified to some extent by natural process. Also before water is admissions uh, to a town or city, it is purified. Try this. Take a plastic bottle. Tell is a place of clothes of piece clean. Tell a clean piece of clothes over the month. Cut off the base of the bottle. Hold the bottle upside down. Pour some cola coa into it. Then add Then add fan, sand, and lettuce. Contents said it make their different legs into inside the bottle as showing in the diagram. Place the bottle and lower cut after and figures and show in the figure third position. So muddy water contained some rubbish flow into the bottle. Observe the water that flowing into the base of the bottle. It up and clean off cells. You have learned that there could be microorganisms in it. Settings. The water from the water source is allowed to stand in large tanks about in is also used to help the process of settings. Orga, organisms. Organelle. Air and water are allowed to mix with the help of fluids that are organs from that crowns or get from the air to distant in the water. Chimney. Water erosion contains that is why place where it does not rain for a long time is explanation or distant. At such place the water level flowed in river, valleys, lakes, birds and drums. Some of these make even dry the land. The land also dried. You drew to illusion humans and animals surface from cessation of water. There is one water for agriculture. There is no water for agriculture. This content is called a family. A family is a natural disaster. Grain of old because such drawing a family. You may have read about the family in a state of country or in another part of the world. People People living this have to face a lot of winds, animals, and plants in those parts also surface. It may to whole year's need for water. Rainwater must be spoiled when it is spoiled. It point to the soil as the groundwater should. Trees get water, wells to get water, and the land can be civilized. Compare methods are used to make rainwater sleep into the soil. Large dams can be pulled, but they may not be possible in all places. In that even the groundment and the and thus sum together to undertake several works such as building smaller rivers, content stops the water of the small streams by complaints by the by blendings, etc. In some places, wells are drilled in river beds. Also, water to collect in them, rainwater filtering or roads of uh, uh, house is redundant into large task placed beside the building. Using all such methods help you the store to store as much water has 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 problem in it is very important to use water carefully to stop rainwater from falling always away away to make it slip into the ground or to collect it in tank. Taking sleep the excavation rainwater will be available even in the period the after the season is called water measurement.